and A.R. Shaw. We are the Wake Up Call. Hope everybody is doing your best to stay safe and to be proud. Say it loud. I'm back and I'm proud. Today is James Brown Day here, rolling out AM.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping,
and I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready, ready
for another day.
No one can stop us. Oh,
we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great.
Oh, 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 oh. You do your best, best,
and I do mine.
So let's get ready, ready, ready. 'Cause it's about that time. Good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, time to wake. Good morning,
your dance and play.
Good morning,
start today.
Good morning, open your eyes. Good morning,
reach for the sky.
Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind.
Woo. Stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah. You see me taking over. Yeah.
I'm on the move. I got a way to shine to. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn and play.
Hey, hey, hey. It's your day. It's rolling out AM with Cass in the City and Romeo International. It is that time, is that place to be in a safe space. No matter what you do, it's your time today to take life by the handle and make it a great day. So no matter what you do, we're here for you. And it is Romeo International. What's up, Ron? How you feel, man?
Shooting all shots. I'm shooting all shots. AR Cass in the City. I'm shooting all shots. I'm Steph Curry from half on the court. Whatever court you give me, I'm gonna shoot. So that's what my attitude is now.
Yeah, they say Chris Paul got the fashion statement of the year, Cass. He's been rocking all day. HBCUs, what you gonna do? HBCU, what you gonna do? You got it. I mean, he has been doing his thing. Really shout out to Chris Paul for all he's doing to make that recognition true. Say it loud. Today is James Brown Day. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. So get your courage up today. Play him loud. Give him some streams. Show him some love. But thank him. Thank him for all the courage. He knew then that you need to say it. Politics aside, everybody understand it's time to go to the polls. For some that are able to vote early now, get there. If not, we're going to count it down every single day. Love and votes are coming your way. We're going to reclaim the White House. It's that time. Hey, start it up. What's up, Amir Shaw?
Man, everything is good this way, man. It's glad you mentioned James Brown, man. One of the first artists to actually do a Black Power anthem. I think, he was the one, before James Brown, they would have to have these coded languages in their music. Then when James Brown came, he was like, man, forget that. I'm black and I'm proud. And that kind of changed the whole narrative with music. And you get people like, of course, the Isley Brothers, Fight the Power. Then later on, you get Public Enemy's Fight the Power. So many other great artists doing protest songs following James Brown. So shout out to James Brown.
Yeah, it's James Brown Day here, rolling out AM, wake up call. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
I want to go back to something that Munson said, though, about Chris Paul. I thought he made the biggest impact in that NBA bubble. Like, outside of his voice speaking about it, like, he actually physically wore Black pride on him during major sports games. And you couldn't deny but look at the shoes. So whoever designed the shoes, hey, man,
we need Cass. Let's find out and get Chris on the show, AR. Know what you're waiting for. And Cass, go ahead and give us that facts and sense. But I'm with you, Romeo. It was definitely a plug that many well deserved for him to rock it, because he rocked it with pride, which is what all individuals that go to HBCUs. And, just so people know, it's not about a division. We love our brothers and sisters to go wherever education takes place. and you're still part of our family. So don't even think you get away. If you Black, you're still part of the HBCU family. If you white and you giving, then you're part of the HBCU family. So, you know, and that's professors that spend their time there and those that are there. But if you're wondering where, send some money today and support it. And you ain't got to do just the top 3. Obviously, as a Morehouse grad, I appreciate what you do and Cash from Howard. But, you know, smaller schools needed the support as well. So don't want you to ever forget, because we're all in this community together. It is about community, everybody. BLACK, that is the name of this day. James Brown, say it loud. And I love what you said, Amir. That is really, he created those anthems. Shake your money maker. Another HBCU graduate, ASU graduate, talking about shake your money maker.
What great actor played him, Amir? What was that great actor's name?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Get on up. It's the classic Get on up. You know, the thing is, James Brown is such a unique character. I didn't think that anyone could actually play James Brown because he was so unique in his voice and the way he presented himself. But Chad would definitely knock that out the park.
Yeah.
So,
and even his voice. I mean, he definitely stepped into that role. He visited James Brown's family, like took himself and put him in James Brown's environment where he was growing up. So definitely Chadwick Boseman did a great job in that role.
Yeah, so if you got some time, watch Get On Up tonight. Definitely catch up on that. So what you got going on, Cass?
Let's get into this report. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Starting off, some big news for Charlamagne the God. He just announced he has a new podcast that is going to stream on iHeartMedia called Black Effect Podcast, and it'll be debuting this fall sometime. So definitely look out for that. We can expect a lot from Charlamagne. Gonna keep it real, keep it raw. So excited to see the kind of topics he'll be discussing on this podcast.
So Cass is a podcast network.
It's a podcast network.
Yeah, it's a network. So what he's doing is he's combining all of these Black podcasts, and they're gonna be up under him as far as it's almost like a cable station, but they're gonna have all the Black content. So the Breakfast Club will be on there. I think 85 South with DC Young Fly.
It's about 40 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of
40 podcasts. It's supposed to be a partnership between he and iHeart coming together with a revenue share for those individuals who are there. We talked to Marvette Brito. We're working to get him and a few other people on the podcast on. So yeah, we've been talking to his people about the whole idea. Big ups to the integration, knowing that ownership is key. Obviously, iHeart has pushed their whole effort to have BLACK content. Our main man over there, who now has a show, their Black News Initiative. You should bring him on the show too.
I'm sorry, Munson, you said what was the guy? What was
Roland Martin? Roland Martin now has a new partnership with iHeart.
Oh, Roland. Okay, Roland Martin. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, we definitely need to keep working on.
Yeah,
for sure.
News share with Roland Martin, so they have a new initiative there as well. Roland will be on next Tuesday, everybody. So know that Roland is coming. But we're proud of all those who are definitely looking and creating new partnerships, which are key to progress and leveraging our community and definitely being owners in that movement and owners of our culture. Love it, Cass. Love it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, Cass, in the city.
Insight, definitely shout out to that. Definitely need more Black content and our voices need to be heard. So continuing on my report, some big news. Obviously, we have holidays coming up for the rest of 2020. Halloween is the closest one, and it's going to be a weird Halloween. If you celebrate Halloween, you know, trick-or-treating is usually a very social holiday. In Los Angeles, yesterday it actually banned trick-or-treating altogether. Now they have advised against it due to the pandemic and social distancing because of COVID-19. So this will be very interesting to see. I know some people don't celebrate Halloween, but a lot of people do in this country, to see how it will take place this year with this pandemic. I mean, people are going to clubs, but you know, will they be out trick-or-treating?
I think trick-or-treating is so archaic. I mean, it's like the 2000s. Like, why are you knocking on strangers' doors? I don't know.
First of all,
I think
I used to love Halloween. I think it's a fun holiday, but
okay, I'm not gonna.
let's start with this. First of all, we get to Amir second. Cass, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're not gonna close down your beaches. I think California on fire, but you gonna stop Halloween? Come on, bro. Fix that first. And number two, Amir, don't be messing with Halloween, man. I get to get dressed.
All right, man. You can wear your mask, Romeo. I'm not gonna stop your holiday. Put your mask on, man.
I don't know that it's a holiday. I think that the whole fright, fear, costume, movement, individuals, it's a real thing. I do think the evolution of people thought they were in neighborhoods. I mean, when you're in your neighborhood, you're really thinking you're really taking your children to see their friends, and the whole idea when you grow up in a neighborhood and you see children out and they're 3 and 4, they're going to Miss Such and Such house. I mean, when it got to the point where, people took advantage of that, which was horrible. Yeah. But I think people enjoy being costumes. I think the whole, second universe and breaking the whole fact that time is not necessarily linear. It's like when we say the name James Brown, he hears us. When we think about our ancestors and he understands the struggle and you want to be proud, say it loud, and James Brown saying it with you. So I think, channeling, not necessarily just horror, but being able to dress up as James Brown, being able to dress up as Rosa Parks. I mean, you don't have to dress up as scary people. So it's not just that, it's the whole costuming and being able to wear costumes. I mean, there are many of us that definitely don't want to be thinking about murder and mob and macabre. I mean, for us, many people, it's that moment to look like Malcolm and dress up like Malcolm and put on that and dress up like HBCU or, fraternity day and whatever it is that makes you proud. So I think we've been able to reinterpret and add our cultural insights to what it is, and all your brothers and sisters that love Star Wars, bruh, they go hard. So, and all the little boys that love to dress up like Black Panthers. So we ain't macabre. And the little boys that still like to be Spider-Man. So, and we don't want to rob people of joy. I mean, at this moment, I'm more concerned with little kids that don't get that joyful moment because you're a child once, bro. And when you take everything away, it creates that whole new creativity. So we're not celebrating death and morbid, but the whole idea of just wearing costumes, some of them people be wearing them costumes year round. Some people wear Superman walking around. Atlanta. You've seen him walking around Atlanta. New York. Some of us show up to work in different costumes. In Times
Square in costumes.
Yeah. But I think people can still wear costumes. I just don't think
some black rock star pants.
They can still wear their costume. So, Cass, they just can't go door to door knocking up for candy. Is that right?
Well, they're advising against it. There was a ban. Now it's an advisement just because of health concerns and lack of social distancing and ringing people's doorbell, being in their face and all that, sharing candy. I mean,
touching candy.
Some virtual Halloween parties, maybe. I don't know. Dress up in your costume and go virtual. I don't know. Something like that. Romeo, you laughing, but I'm sure it's gonna happen. In Atlanta, it'll probably just be all out.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be out there.
So it'll be regular.
Twerk-a-reen. Twerk-a-reen. You gotta have twerk-a-reen,
Twerk-a-reen.
Oh yeah.
Twerk-a-reen. Be regular day here.
Somebody gonna hear that mustard and you'll see
there's gonna be a party.
It's gonna be a flyer.
They're gonna put it on the flyer.
The twerk-a-reen.
You said that too loud, Mustard. They're definitely gonna turn up on that.
All right, well, let's get into this next report before our guest comes. Big ups to Mara Brock-Akil, one of my favorite creatives, showrunners who did Girlfriends, The Game, Being Mary Jane. Super awesome at what she does in creating Black content. She is now signed an overall multi-year deal with Netflix. So shout out to her. She'll be producing original content. So I'm looking forward to this because, like I said, I love Mara Brock-Akil's work in Black stories that she created. So I'm looking forward to
it. Say it, Cass. Say it.
And Netflix usually has really good original content. So I'm definitely looking forward to this.
They're open to Black content, that's for sure. Reed Hastings, you need to go ahead and make that request for him to speak at RIDE, and you definitely need to go ahead and call her to speak at RIDE today, Amir.
Definitely.
You got to contact
I
her.
reached out there.
Interview.
Yeah, I got to contact. When we were at the Black Enterprise, we ran into her, so I was able to get her contact. So I hit her up to see if we can get on him RIDE and talk about the
Get her a RIDE today. So we can talk about content, the evolution of Black content. You know, Black cultural coders is the whole theme of RIDE this year. So beautiful thing, beautiful thing. Thanks, Kaz. Great job.
To these birthdays really quick before our guest comes. So shout out to everyone celebrating a birthday today. Some people we're going to highlight: Ballerina, Misty Copeland, Big Daddy Kane, and Sheck West. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody else celebrating today. We wish you a very happy birthday.
Daddy Kane.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way.
It's a holiday. That's when the button supposed to start.
Woo! We excited.
Okay, well, the birthday, first of all, the birthday song.
Shout out to everybody. I believe we do have a guest coming this morning. Our girl Carrie from Detroit.
I haven't seen Carrie yet.
Cassidy, I want the birthday song.
Well,
I'm trying to figure out why we don't have a birthday song. You know,
Then depriving Romeo, you depriving him of his.
he ain't by himself. He ain't by himself. You know, all that talk, we talk. Oh, God.
Gonna take my Halloween and I don't get no birthday song? Come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, come on. We celebrate. What's up?
Good
Hey,
morning.
Karen.
How are you all today?
good. How are you?
So
Carrie.
good. Feeling really amazing this morning. Had a good yoga class on Zoom with some regulars. So I am feeling excellent. How are all of you?
Good.
Fantastic. We're feeling very peaceful. Have you done any coloring yet?
Yes, of course. I have my Peace and Purpose coloring book. I have so many things colored in it. Guys, I thought it was right in my Peace and Purpose bag right here, but it's not because I've been using it and it's over there on my desk. But
You got your new Peace and Purpose bag coming, though. You really wait till you see the holiday Peace and Purpose bag. It is all of that. It is twice that size.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. People
I don't
have
know
been
why
asking me
Dad
about this
doesn't have
bag.
one. Oh, maybe she didn't call me or send me her address. Maybe she'll text me her address so she can have Peace and Purpose. You know, Cass was one of the designers on that.
Really? Cass, I love it.
And she doesn't have a bag. Somehow she never called and text me her address. I don't understand what that is. But you know, Carrie, I am so happy. Can you let me know? You know, the 22nd's coming really fast. December 4th, 5th, and 6th is the Peace and Purpose Wellness Conference put on by Rolling Out. So it is Peace and Purpose's Wellness Conference. We're starting that right after RIDE, but we're having a Peace and Purpose Conference where we invite yogis from around the world, fitness experts from around the world, health and Black physicians to eliminate health disparities and manage disease. So we're looking forward to that. But let's get on this.
You know what else, Munson?
What's happening?
I don't think that we ever got our yoga outside. Did we ever get that? I don't think
the 22nd. She's supposed to be doing it. She and Cass had 12 days. We picked a day. She's been practicing outside. It's actually the 22nd. It's a lead up. We do have that. But we're really excited about the Peace and Purpose Conference that will be starting up, so that we'll be doing that virtually. But Carrie's part of that, as always, one of the healers of the world.
I wouldn't tell on you or nothing like that. I'll just say.
Well, she's met. We've actually talked on a couple Saturdays, and she's done a photo shoot, which is cool. Tragan says he's still waiting to hear from you. So
It's a lot going on right now, but we are slowly getting it together. Cass, he's about to make us go breathe in the corner, right? He's like putting us on the spot this morning. but it's all good. I'm also very excited today because we have another healer here with us today. We have Dr. Rihanna Elise Anderson back with some information for us today about how we can heal our minds. We're going through a lot right now, and I love how she incorporates mindfulness into the healing that she offers her clients. So thank you so much for being back here with us today, Dr. Anderson. How are you this morning?
Thank you, Carrie. You know what? You can keep the birthday song going for me because mine was yesterday.
All right.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
birthday.
25.
Happy belated
Thank you so
birthday.
much. Thanks.
All right,
How
send
did
me
I not know this?
send your address so we can send you a Peace and Purpose coloring book.
Yes. We need to
Put
send
it
you
in the chat.
gifts.
18?
Yeah, 18 to 21 is what I'm shooting for at this
Just
time.
stay there. It's a good place. Just stay there.
Wow.
Portia, get her address so we can send her a Peace and Purpose for her birthday, and a whole bag and the coloring pencils so she can have that. We really love what you do, and welcome back to Rolling Out.
Thank you.
Looking forward. Now, have you written a book?
Okay. So
So maybe we'll do a video series on Black healing and trauma. So maybe we'll just do a quick little video series, and then we'll use that as the build up to the book. But we got to get you intellectuals. It's my encouragement to document. And I think, you don't just have to do a book, but at least a series so that people can know how wonderful it is to be in your presence, be healed, and know that we can remove some of the trauma that's in our lives. So we need to get your body of work together.
Well, so let me shout a few things out. So I did decline a book deal this summer because everything was so much. And so the question is, to the modern consumer, how do you get information out, right? So I do a lot of blogs, I do videos, I do like very quick, the phone, very quick little 1 minute mental health things. So I have a media group, Our Mental Health Minute, and we do like minute long, like this is the information that you need to get. So we do think about how do we get information out. But when I have time to sit, I'm gonna do like another. So
AI help with that.
I got you.
The good thing about AI is it could take every minute that you have
That's right.
and actually distill it down into text.
Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell's book is another great example of how he included, like if you're listening and reading his book, when you do the audiobook, you can hear Sandra Bland literally talking. So it's not the traditional book anymore. You can take all your minutes, then just kind of add some words, and then people can hear your minutes today. So that's half of it. It doesn't have to be the traditional. So definitely multimedia. It's not book. Like that. But I really enjoyed his book because you could hear when he talked about Sandra Bland, you could really hear her saying what she was saying to the police during that moment. So you understood that it was really, she was having a very strange relationship because she knew her rights and she knew that he was not right. And that this was not the moment. And why are you talking to me? And I don't have to do this. And we heard all that in the book. So your whole minutes could be in your book, which is beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy birthday. Send us that address and I'm going to let y'all have everything. It was something about strangers. I forget his new book, the title of it, but it's Strangers. But anyhow, they'll pull it up and tell you guys what it was. But I listened to it. It was wonderful. And Sandra is talking in the book. So it really brings things to life. And I just wait for your mental minutes.
Thank you.
I have a few mental minutes every minute.
We need them, yes.
I need some. So ping me so I can follow and we can definitely do that. And we need to bring her on Health IQ as well.
Yes. How can we find a mental health minute?
So we are on all platforms at Our MHM. So Our Mental Health Minute, Our MHM, all platforms.
Okay, great. And can you tell us how just watching what happened to Sandra Bland and all of the racial injustice that's right in our face right now is causing and resulting in psychological problems for Black people?
Yeah, absolutely. So there have been some studies this past year or two about the impact of police injustice on mental health for youth and adults. So a lot of times people think about adults and they're like, oh man, I can see how that can impact our anxiety, our depression. But there have been some really important studies out of University of Southern California and other folks who are saying, listen, our kids who are watching what's going on TV are experiencing heightened depression, heightened anxiety, heightened stress, mainly because we've talked this word trauma today, mainly because we're thinking, is that going to be me? Like that is the question at the end of the day. Is that going to be me? And so that's what we're seeing, Carrie.
Right. And what do those psychological problems look like? Is it depression? Is it like, what really is it that happens after seeing this constantly in the media?
Yeah, so it's two things. So we talked about depression, anxiety, and stress. Those things spike. The scarier part for me is when those things don't show up anymore. So when you don't see any heightened symptoms, that means that we're internalizing and believing that these things are normal, that the dehumanization of people on screen is something to be expected. So I'm actually more concerned when we're not seeing the spike, when we call that habituate, right? So you see a spike, and then when it comes back down and people are like, oh, it's just another person who was killed. That is what's really scary.
So Dr. Anderson, you think we're becoming desensitized to this?
Absolutely. I mean, that is what stress, like we would break, right? So it is not normal for Black people to be knelt on for 8 minutes, 46 seconds. It is not normal to be shot in the back 7 times in front of your kids. These things are not normal. And yet we see it constantly. That Black people right now are being injured during a heightened attention to police injustice is in and of itself nuts. You would imagine that police would be on their absolute best behavior. They would not be doing anything wrong, but that they continue to do it means that they're desensitized to it. And that we're not breaking apart means that we have to desensitize. Otherwise the stress would continue to build up and like kind of eat at us, right? It would erode us. So we essentially do have to desensitize so that we don't break in half, right?
Right. So as a psychologist, like how do you teach people to manage race-based traumatic stress?
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, Carrie. This is the hard part for me because what we talk about in my work is the word coping. We use the term coping a lot. And no matter what workshop I'm at, what conference I'm at, somebody raises their hand and they're like, why are you teaching us to be okay with what's going on? Shouldn't you be trying to attack the system? Let me start out by saying outright, like, I work very hard on both ends. So I'm absolutely trying to dismantle the systems that we have that are impacting us in the first place. And like I was saying, if you don't figure out how to do something to protect yourself from what is actually happening in the system. So until we fix that system, if we don't figure out how to cope with what's going on, we are going to break. We're going to have some really serious psychological and physical problems dealing with that. So the way that we go about talking about coping with it is first being aware. So having an awareness of what's going on. I'll give you a quick example. If someone crosses the street because they see you approaching, or if they clench their purse, or they do any of these smaller kind of things that make you question, is that me? Is it because of my race? It's like you're starting to now get in your head a bit. The first thing that we would want you to do is acknowledge there is likely a racial component to this. Like, can I say that? Can I see it and can I say it? Is it racial? All right. It is now racial. And now I have to question, what did I do to deserve that? The answer is absolutely nothing. And so you're able to take it from what's going on inside here and what's going on inside here back to that environment. And you're like, that's really jacked up of that person to do that. Wipes hands, move along. Right. So it's an awareness first and then a rejection of that awareness. I had nothing to do with it. This is a history. This is a system. It has nothing to do with me individually. I'm not letting it like sit in my system. Right.
Where some of us probably do let it sit in our system. Right. Like think we internalize that and make it be about us, you know, like I'm not good. It impacts our self-worth and our mindset. So how can you tell us about Embrace and what that is? Tell everybody about Embrace, this wonderful program that you have to help Black people deal with some of this with mindfulness.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So I'll give like a little back end and then I'll come full circle. What you were just saying about some people probably do this. We have parents in our sessions who say a memory from 20, 25 years ago that's still sitting with them, that they never unpacked. So it's not a probably. It's like these are absolutely things that people are sitting with for a lifetime, a generation, an entire adulthood that they are still thinking about, mulling over, that's still eating at them. And when I use this word eating at you, this is why we see physical problems. This is why we see psychological problems. You can imagine a little Pac-Man in your body just kind of doing this, eating away at some of the things that you have, which cause health problems, which causes.
CVD?
Say it again.
CVD, cardiovascular disease.
That's
my theory. Like all of this is like breaking our heart. That's why we have more rates of CVD.
Or what I like to talk about. So CVD is absolutely a part of it, like without question. When we talk about breathing, let me just get at that real quick, and then I'll go back to what embrace is. When we say we can't breathe, I want to be very clear that that's not just like a saying. It's not a colloquialism. It is a literal not being able to get in a full breath of air because you're constricted here. Your chest is literally tight. So in Embrace, and I promise I'll get to it, in Embrace, we work on how do you actually, again, with this awareness, say, holy cow, I'm not taking in full breaths of air. I'm hyperventilating in this situation. I'm not conscious of me not getting a full breath. So now I'm aware, wow, that's a shallow breath. Okay, now I'm getting a full breath. That full breath feeds my brain. It feeds the rest of my body so that I can, in this moment, do what I need to do to reject what craziness this person is saying to me, right? Okay, what is Embrace? Embrace is engaging, managing, and bonding through race. It's a 5-session therapeutic approach that we came up with to work with families about this. So in English, y'all have to talk with your families? Yes. This is like a 5-time talk. We're teaching you some of the skills of what are some ways to actually use the talk as a therapeutic approach. So it's not just saying, keep your hands on 10 to 2. And when you go to the store, take your hoodie off. Those are like declarative statements. The kids are now like, great. Then what? So it's not teaching, right? It's not telling us why we have to do these things or why it hurts parents to have to say these things. So from an emotional standpoint, we're able to say, it hurts me to say this, but from a historical perspective, this is what's been happening. And when you do that, it might keep you safe. And then it allows the kids to say, well, why? It's now a back and forth, right? Instead of a declarative, you have to do this. So 5 times where parents and children are able to come together, have the talk with therapists. So we're like infusing different approaches of breathe or be mindful about this or think about or process. And so now that conversation is going back and forth rather than parent to child only.
And how does breathing help them? Like, at first people who don't have experience with this, do they think it's just like silly, or what are their thoughts about adding breath to manage their mind?
Yeah. So my mentor, Howard Stevenson, who's at the University of Pennsylvania, came up with this practice of CLCBE. So calculate, locate, communicate, breathe, and exhale. So when we introduce this to families, they're like, now CL what? C what? CC what? And we're like, all right, CLCBE. And we teach them first calculate. So again, these early skills of how do we even become aware? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you stressed? How much are you afraid? How much are you whatever in this moment? So you're calculating, wow, on a scale of 1 to 10, that person calling me the N-word has me at about a 10. I'm pretty high up there, right? So I'm giving it a number, a weight, right? Now I'm locating in my body where it is. Man, that felt like a punch to the gut. That's why my stomach is like this. That's why I'm hunched over in this moment. Or while there's a lot of pressure here, that's why I can't breathe. I'm locating where that stress is. Now I'm communicating. So back to the point that we were saying about getting it out. Wow, that person really thought this about me, but they don't know me. They've never met me. So how is it that they could think that? So now you're giving it words. You're giving it a whole framework. So you've calculated, located, and communicated. So now you got all this stuff. What do you do? Well, we have to build in the relaxation part. So now we breathe. We take all of that knowledge in, and we slowly let it out. So now your shoulders are down, your back is straighter, your stomach that just got punched is released. So all the things that you just had here are now out. They are outside of you. They are not sitting and eating away at you.
Honestly, I love this. And when I found out you were incorporating mindfulness into your practices, I was like, wow, this is more than yoga teachers just trying to encourage people to breathe. I really love this. And How have you seen it affect people for the better, for the positive?
Yeah, you know what? So again, I said last time, I'm a dork. I'm a true scientist. Like, it is what it is. Well, now, okay, let me relate that to what we got going on with these clinical trials, right? So we're talking a lot in COVID world about like getting a vaccine out there and doing all this stuff. Hopefully you're also reading about scientists being really nervous about going from this current phase to the next without evidence and going too quickly, right? So hopefully you're seeing that it would be dangerous if we go from an early stage to a later stage without proper testing. So going back to embrace, I like to caution, we're at an early stage. We're not really at the level where we can say like definitively this thing does X, Y, and Z. But working with the families that we have worked with already, they are just like, again, I've unpacked 25 years of stuff, things I've not told anybody, stuff that I thought was so minor back in the day. It's off my shoulders now. I've unpacked it. That's something that we really love to hear, right? We love to see it. We love to hear it when our parents and our kids are saying that small thing is now off of me. Or for kids in particular, while I didn't know that thing was tied to race. So when you ask kids often about discrimination, they're like, no. Or you say like, what's racism? Oh, it don't happen no more. Like it ain't a thing. And then they're like, oh yeah, but when I went in the store, that person didn't serve me. Like they told me to take off my hoodie and to get out. And we're like, okay, so tell me, like, so, right. So that's step one where you're just like, tell me a bit about how
identify.
Right. Like we try to like, what is that tied to? Are you aware that that is actually racialized, right? Even if in Detroit, as you know, Carrie, like we have so many systems set up that are racialized. We had a wall at one point dividing people, a whole wall saying you cannot live here, right? And so if kids aren't aware that where they live is even tied to racial policy, right? If they're not aware that the bulletproof glass is a part of this racialized stereotype about them, yes. We're missing so much. So just having kids become more aware and knowledgeable about those things is something that really makes me feel good. So we get coping strategies that are going up. We are reducing anxiety and depression. We're doing the things that we set out to do to have the talk be a tool that's actually therapeutic. So we're doing good. We're waiting for our next trial for me to be able to say like, here's a banner of all the stuff that Embrace is doing and it's for real and we're like legit. So it's coming though, it's coming.
I love that. Did you guys see how she almost started leading us through a breathing exercise?
I know. I was thinking about going into the corner when she was mentioning, just thinking about your breath in those moments and how you're breathing. Because we always talk about taking a step back and like going into a corner to like separate from a stressful situation like this. So I like that. And I also like that you're creating dialogue for families, because sometimes it probably is just a mom saying, don't do this. Yes. And the child is just saying, okay.
Yes.
Without being able to ask those important questions. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's that. And I really appreciate that. That's exactly what we're seeing. So like, there's a whole bunch of studies that say like parents and kids talk about race. And so it will be those like brief moments of like, okay, don't do that. And a parent wipes their hand and they're going back to the kitchen. And so again, in any dialogue, the question is, how much are y'all unpacking? How much are you giving the why? How much are you giving this emotional component to it? So that's what we're trying to do. And I'm hoping that people are breathing, that they are taking the time to say what we've seen on TV this summer, unacceptable. And that's tied to things that we've been seeing for decades, unacceptable. Malice Green happened when we were growing up, Carrie.
I lived across the street from Malice Green. Okay, so I've always had this heightened awareness of being afraid of the police. And it's like, yeah. I'm so happy that you're thinking about the kids, because here I was in second grade, freaked out by the police, and like you said, you have this physiological reaction to stress where your heart starts beating quickly and you can't focus and you get mental fog and you go into this fight or flight. So your blood is constricted and you're not breathing well. So it's all a system and you really got to breathe, the kids included. So I love Embrace. Love it.
Love it. All right. Well, go ahead, baby.
Something you 20 questions ago that I was trying to get in. I'm gonna have to get on you about something you said about coping.
Okay.
I don't know if we have time, but I think there's a flaw in that theory somewhere.
About voting?
No, coping.
Coping.
Don't do that. don't do the light skin with the look. Don't do that look. What I'm saying is, we got you mentioned coping. You mentioned the coping mechanism as something that people are getting used to. The flaw in that theory is, I think it's a learned state, right? Because I remember, if we're going to take it back to being younger, when you would see a police officer at school, that was Officer Wilson. That's his name. Let's make him white. He's Officer Wilson. That's what his name is. Yeah. But when I was at private school, oh, that's John. So in my head, when I was in public school, it's always been taught in public schools that that's authority. That's who that is. You should follow that authority. In private school, that's our friend. That's Mr. John. Well, first of all, I'm not going to call him Mr. John because he got a gun on his hip. But I think the split is the coping comes from the fact that I think it's being taught two ways. I think it's being taught as an authoritative figure, and I hate to say with some white people, I think it's taught as that's our friend.
Yeah.
And that's how we approach it. We never approach it as, we've never been taught to approach it as, hey, that's our friend, not our foe. So
I know we got to wrap, so let me say this real quick, and then I'll hop off for y'all. I'm 100% with you. Whenever I do a talk about racial violence with police, people who are white always say, why would that child run away? Why would they think that police officer is a threat? So I'm with you. The only caveat I'll say is that there's chicken and the egg, right? So we know police historically were created out of the KKK to control Black people. Like, that's fact. In the 1800s, we saw that they came out of the
patrol.
Of patrol, right? So Black people were taught early on, this is who this person is, and this is how you respond to them. Whereas white people did not have to respond in the same way. So I'm with you 100% that there are two different teachings, but the question is really chicken and egg. So on that, I'll let y'all go. Also, I'm gonna just do a quick plug. I was on CNN on Sunday talking about this very concept. So just go ahead and watch that. But I was
CNN, which we're always proud. Elevate, Black elevate. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Just watch that. That's all. Right.
Maybe we'll get you a birthday song one day at some point during the show. Happy birthday. Continue to heal right there in Detroit, around the world. Need more Black faces on CNN. We love it. We love it.
Yes, we love to see it, Dr. Anderson.
Send us that address so we can send you your birthday gift.
Got you. Peace to you. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you. Happy belated.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, Cass. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you all. It's always wonderful to be here. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right.
Tuesday. Call Tragan.
Will do. Hey, Tragan.
But I was trying to get to that point, Cass, of the conversation is different. Like, you know, because even when I think about high school, you know, you were afraid. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. Like, you were afraid to get caught by the high school police officer. But then when I switched schools, it was like, hey, we're going off campus for lunch. And, you know, I'm like, we can do that? I didn't even know we can leave. We can leave and come. You know, so I think the conversation is different. But I think that's where the coping comes from. Because you do get used to, AR, tell me if I'm wrong. You do get used to, if you see, this is going to sound so bad. You see somebody get killed every week, you get used to it in a way.
Desensitized. And that's what happens. You get desensitized to everything. I guess they're trying to play the birthday song right now.
Stop. We what is going on? Come on, man. Shout out to everybody on Facebook checking in. William Guest, D Shields, you know I love you. Thank you, D Shields. Great point, Romeo. Shout out to Iris Baker. That's my Iris. Shout out to Shirley Robinson. And shout out to D Shield said it's important. I learned this mindfulness. I don't want to cuss out somebody's retired grandma in these Rocky Mountain streets. Yeah, we don't want you cussing out nobody's grandma. And Iris Baker says, hey, y'all keep up the good work. So we everybody. Now we apologize for these technical difficulties. I don't know. This is what
they fall asleep behind the wheel. What's going on? Wake up.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way.
Wake up.
The birthday song is not playing now. There is no birthday song on this screen.
It's
How
just
about you stop?
Screen.
Well, just stop.
Just stop it.
This is professionalism. What are y'all doing? We apologize to everybody, but we're glad you tuned in and turned up. Make sure you go to rollitout.com and make sure that you D Shields is last.
Birthday, everybody.
I don't know where to go with this. Somebody, Kat.
I think we have a guest coming, so
we do have a guest coming, so we need this black screen to we need to get rid of this black screen. Producers.
Birthday song.
Can you get rid of the screen?
I cannot.
Woo!
Oh
Woo!
man. Oh man, we thought somebody got it. We thought somebody got our producers. I'm glad they okay though. Glad they good. Shout out to our producers.
Shout out to Courtney Nicole.
Hey guys, can you see me?
Calling out 8 a.m. We can see you. We can definitely see you. You're a bright ball of sunshine. Thank God for you today. Here, rolling out 8 a.m. The wake up call. It is Courtney Nicole. Woo!
I'm with you.
Turn it up, turn it up. Chi-Town in the house.
Let go.
Turn it up, turn it up. It is your turn.
Romeo, you got a lollipop. You should be on a sugar high. So let's go. Look, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get
Let's get it.
So welcome, Courtney Nicole. I am A.R. Shaw. We have Romeo International, Munson Steve, Cass in the City. And I want you to introduce yourself to the people because you're doing some big things over there at Tyler Perry Studios. You got some great content coming, or you guys are just not gonna stop. You know, y'all not gonna let COVID-19, the pandemic stop y'all. Y'all still gonna put out this great content. So let the people know about yourself.
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to
morning.
be y'all this morning and be with you this morning. It is 5:45 over here, Pacific Standard Time, so we doing the thing, okay?
Yeah.
Hey.
And you are absolutely right. So my new show, Assisted Living, one of Tyler Perry's new shows, Assisted Living on BET. It aired we premiered last Wednesday. So we had our shows. We had our night again, our family fun night with the return of House of Pain last night. So we just had a good time. So you're right. My boss is working, honey. He got folks down there doing quarantine boot camp and everything. So,
quarantine boot camp. So you gotta walk us through it. What is going on down there in the studio? Because you know the thing is, once this pandemic kind of broke off, everybody had to pretty much stop what they were doing. Tyler was like, "Look, I'm going to create a safe bubble for all of the actors and the producers and the production team, and that's going to be working on these shows." So what was it like to be in the Tyler Perry studio bubble?
So I'll say that our show wrapped before the quarantine. Look at
that. Okay.
So we went up there to film, and I remember my birthday was March 13th. R.I.P. Breonna Taylor. That happened on my birthday, so I have vowed to always shout her out. But my birthday was March 13th. I had a party in Atlanta, or had planned a birthday party in Atlanta, because like I was going over my lines and stuff, honey. I really didn't have time to go like visit my family and my friends. So I was like, you know what? My birthday is on the 13th. It's Friday the 13th. We gonna turn up. I had an episode of SWAT that had just come out. I was like, oh, we're gonna watch that. You know, we're gonna gonna party, and then, honey, they started setting the NBA and everything down that week. Okay, I said, well, now, so I was hitting my friends up like, look, we could booty bump, we could say hi, we could just hug. Y'all still come through, right? So it did. The numbers did decrease, but anyway. So birthday party Friday, then Saturday the 14th, we actually flew back into LA, and then on Sunday the 15th, they made the announcement that the city was officially on lockdown. So I was like, we got back just in time. So all they had to do was edit and mix everything up, you know what I'm saying, and get our show out to the people. So it was a beautiful experience. But I do have some friends that have been on other, you know, some of his other shows, like the Oval. And they went and did their Thug Thistle and they brought it home. So it looks like things are going really well. No, look, I'm from Chicago. I have to throw a little bit of that in there. But I got to keep it real with the people. But no, so I mean, they seem to be doing well, no positive tests. And for him to come back and just bring the industry back like that and bring everybody back to work was just amazing. And then to find out last week that now he is a billionaire, I'm like, look at this man. During a pandemic, he's been buying groceries for the older people, passing out gift cards, you know, trying to work on that relationship between the Atlanta Police Department and the community, you know, which is what we need. I heard y'all talking, you know, like we need more, we need all things happening at all times. So for him to be doing that and for that boomerang to come back around and still hit him with all of the blessings that he got, that he gets, it's just amazing to me. It lets me know that we're in, you know, heading in the right direction. And I appreciate working for him, especially during this time and having a show on Black entertainment television. Like we're talking about Black excellence at its finest. So
yes,
that's So that's how we keep saying off.
Definitely. Cass, Romeo?
Yeah, I definitely want to ask you because, I mean, we've talked to several actors who've worked with Tyler Perry on different shows, and they all talk about this pace at which he works and shoots and gets things done. So what is that experience like for you, having worked prior to the shutdown, but still working at Tyler Perry's pace and getting things done?
Yes, honey, we shot 25 episodes. I was like, we would be looking at each other like, did we just do that? You know, so it's awesome. But I mean, when you own your own studio, you can run it the way you want to run it and you can get stuff done and, you know, things run according to schedule. So that's what he does. And I'll just say as an artist, in the room when I booked this and, you know, I was having a conversation with the executives, the only thing that I could get out in between the tears and my shouting was when preparation meets opportunity. And I would like to say that, you know, you have to go to work prepared, you know? So, I mean, it's not for the faint at heart. You know, you can't be talking about, well, I think I know my lines, or, you know, I'm still trying to find my character. You have to, you know, that's when you're training. You know, we're gifted naturally, right? We all have gifts and talents that we're born with, that we get to operate in this universe with, you know, but everybody has professional development. I don't care if you're a teacher or whatever it is. Everybody got to go to school for something. And I think that's when your technique kicks in. You know, it's like, how much time do I really need to dig into a character? Or do I know this person already? And so I will say that, you know, you definitely need to be on your A game. And I show up to work in Black excellence, honey, and win, okay? Because that's what we're here to do. He's given us a platform. And that's one of the beautiful things that he does. You know, he definitely gives you a platform, and he's always bringing out new, fresh faces and new voices. And I appreciate that, you know? So I was like, I'm ready to work, sir. What do you need me to do?
Yeah, got it done.
Yeah.
Well, Courtney, AR passed me the ball. Well, Courtney, speaking of Black excellence, and as beautiful as you are with that color that surrounds you, and you know, single. My question is.
But I still feel the love. Look.
Hey man, you got to pay attention, Romeo. You got to look at the hands, brother. You got to look at the hands, brother.
I got friends, Romeo. I got friends. You know, cute girls, cute friends, right?
I had to come back for that. But what I was gonna say what I was gonna say was, how do you, and this is more geared towards you, how do you maintain your voice during these times? You know, it's like, yeah, the opportunity, the work, the show, and then like you said, what's going on in the outside world and this happening. Like, how do you maintain your voice to where you're still creating, but you're also being heard on certain levels of, you know, disparities?
That's a great question, Romeo. I mean, beautiful question, because I believe all of our lives changed on May 25th when we saw George Floyd murdered. You know, I did not normally use my social media or my platform to always talk about, you know, things that, you know, probably we should be talking about, right? You know, you try to keep it clean because you want a job, and, you know who's coming to your page. And, you know, like right now I'm working for a show at BET, but you want to make sure CBS and NBC and ABC are on board with you, right? So you always have that in the back of your mind. And, but that day I could not, the humanity, you know, in us, that I think is what the world is showing, a lot of the world is showing us, cannot be denied. And I could not hold my voice. Like, I've always been one to speak up, right? I probably got into trouble. You know, I always had that check and self-control because I was talking in class. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been one to run my mouth and fight for the underdog. So, you know, and just fight for what's right. You know, I taught for 13 years. And even in my classroom, I say I believe in being fair, firm, and consistent, you know. And with that being said, I felt compelled. And I'll say another thing that helped me. The casting director for Tyler Perry Studios, her name is Raven Drummer. I'm sure most of you all are familiar, but in case those who aren't, and she had a post. She does this Actor Minute Monday, and she made a very good point in that actors and, you know, people in the industry, the sporting, you know, the sports world, we have always been at the forefront of this. You think about Muhammad Ali, you think about those, you know, that won the Olympics and stood up there with their medals, you know, and look at Naomi right now. Look at, you know, just we've always, you know, Harry Belafonte, Nina Simone, you know, the list goes on. So, you know, there's that quote that is like, who am I not to shine, right? So who am I not to speak up? Who am I not to use my voice? Because ultimately, one thing that I have to remember, and, you know, and whatever, I know there are different religions, but we all believe at some point there's a higher power, the universe, God is who I, you know, connect with. And he gave me this voice for a reason.
Right.
And I had to kind of just know that and move forward. It's kind of like, you know, the other things in life. It's kind of like you have to know that and be able to use it. And so I did. And I think that one of the beautiful things for me that's come out of this is that I have been able to use this platform. It doesn't go unchecked for me that I've been able to, this happened in my career, and I am now able to use my platform to talk about something. And then with my career in education, I'm able to talk about something that I'm also very passionate about and very knowledgeable about, right? So we all have to pick our lanes in this. Like, you all might be, you know, dealing with the media and trying to see how they can fund your show more, how you can get more advertisement, how you all might be getting less advertisement than somebody like a Variety or something like that, right? So that might be your push. My push right now is filming television, right? And getting our voices on television. And I have a background in education. So I want those history books changed. I want teachers who are coming out of any university that are coming out of the School of Education in any university to have taken a cultural humanities class or African American studies class, because you don't know where you're going to be teaching, right? You might go back to your predominantly white neighborhood, but if that Black kid moves into the neighborhood, I need those white teachers to feel empowered to teach our history and not slight our babies because it's something they're not comfortable with, you know? So I hope I answered that question. And because I'm passionate, I probably went on a little bit, but
Team you, thank you.
I want to talk about, you know, you actually went viral during the Black Lives Matters protest. because you actually saw some individuals, they were vandalizing a Starbucks, and you were like, you pretty much stepped up and said, kind of confronted them and said, look, this is not what the movement is about. So let's talk about that moment, and why was it important for you to stop the vandals from destroying property and destroying the movement, and putting a bad look on what you guys were trying to accomplish?
Absolutely. I think in just the theme of what we've been talking about, right? I just told y'all that I speak up, right? So I have a 12-year-old bonus son. I've taught, right? So the mama in me and the teacher in me, when I saw them doing wrong, I think just it couldn't settle in me, right? Like, and it's interesting how that video happened, that day, like it went viral. I woke up the next morning and it was crazy. And I was like, okay. So again, I'm in this sweet spot, right? Where my voice, I'm like, oh, when I did it and it went viral, I was like, oh, well, I hope the people gonna be okay, because the show hadn't come out. But I was like, okay, it's coming out. But I did it from my heart, right? And I think that's where everybody received it coming from, which is a beautiful thing. But we had been out, like that was new in the protest. This was like shortly after it started. And again, I'm seeing us, just like in Charlottesville, just like in, Ferguson, they always show us messing up our own stuff, right? And something in me was like, that's not right, right? So now I know that sometimes there are some of us that do, but the bottom line is that that's not the narrative we want to spin here. So when we went out that day, me, my husband, two of my friends, Chris and Nia, we had been peacefully protesting since like 10 o'clock that morning. And it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon and we were walking down the street and the police had put up this brigade, right? And I'm like, man, at 2 o'clock, y'all really gonna act like we've been out here clowning? Like, why are you here? Who sent you, right? So, and at that point, they started throwing tear gas and shooting rubber bullets to get people to go away. So I'm like, okay, that's crazy. So I'm already amped up about that. And then I go and I see these two young ladies like tagging Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, you ain't even Black. Like, and what hit me even more so is that I look to my right, like I'm looking around where we're walking up to, and I see people standing around not speaking up, and that bothers me, right? Because I'm all for calling out the bully. I'm all for, those types of things. And so I'm like, really? Y'all gonna pull up at the barbecue and y'all ain't gonna say nothing to these people? Like, if you gonna pull up at the barbecue, then I need you to pull up, right? And I need you to get your kinfolk, right? I need you to tell them that what they're doing is not right, especially when you see that tagging Black Lives Matter. Because, honey, Starbucks wasn't gonna look at their video the next morning and then call the NBC, CBS, ABC and say, hey, you know what? We watched our videos and those were not Black people. They were not going to do that. So I felt like, I think that's one of the great things about this movement. Back in the day, they showed us, they took pictures, they took videos. And so the documentation that we see is a lot of what they documented. The beautiful thing about what's happening now is that we're able to document it for ourselves. So I was really just using my voice, you know what I'm saying? And it was really an organic moment. Like, I really wandered up on them. If you're watching the beginning of the video, I didn't cut it on because I saw them. I really walked up on them. And yeah, I was like, no, not on my watch. And I think that's exactly what this is, not on my watch. Even with Breonna Taylor, not on my watch will you get to go unnoticed. We have to remember that Daniel Cameron just got put into office in 2019. So this will be a great opportunity for him to use his platform to show what he is willing to do for the citizens of the state of Kentucky. And unfortunately, he isn't doing that right now, So I mean, who am I not to use my voice?
That's what I'm talking about.
When my ancestors did it, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
So to keep using your voice, we need you out here in the streets. We need you out here, definitely shed a light on what's happening. We definitely need you checking folks who ain't down and trying to sabotage the barbecue. We don't need that. We don't need anybody sabotage it.
Like that. Take my plate back. Oh, give me my rib back if you're gonna be up in here and talking to nobody and they doing nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So give us before we let you go, just let us know when we can watch the show, what day, what time, what station.
Absolutely. So we are on Wednesday nights. That is Tyler Perry night on BET. So Wednesday nights, our show comes on at 9:00, and they've been showing back-to-back episodes. So if you haven't watched, you can go to the BET Now app. Today, it usually comes up the day after. I want y'all to all set your DVRs, honey, because we're having fun. Of course, David and Tamela Mann are coming in. J. Anthony Brown, Naeem Lynn, myself, and my two kids, Taylor and Alex. We have so much fun. So I just hope that you all join us. I think we need a laugh right now. Laughter is good for the soul, and we made this with love. So come and love on us.
That's what's up, man.
Much respect, Courtney Nicole. So we definitely gonna follow you in this movement, follow you on the streets, and we're gonna follow you on this show. So much respect, man. We definitely rooting for you over here.
Thank you so much. And we got to keep showing up in these streets, baby. We got to do the work. So I appreciate you all for doing the work. Thank you for having me. I hope we can come back soon to talk about, any other things that come up. But y'all have a blessed day. And you all can follow me on The Real Courtney on any platform that you choose. So thank you.
Thank you.
And vote. That's my husband in the background. Vote.
Thanks so much, Courtney.
So we can keep them accountable for this money that they put in our neighborhoods. Let's go.
Definitely. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks so much.
Y'all have a great day.
Take care.
Bye.
Entanglement.
Shout out to Chi-Town, man. She representing for the Chi.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, you gotta watch hands, man. I know you want to shoot your shot like Trey Young, man, but sometimes you gotta.
Hey, man,
you gotta measure.
Shoot his shot.
August Alcina said that it was okay.
Please.
All right, so we have our next guest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call.
Absolutely.
Please, everyone, just introduce yourselves and tell everybody who is watching who you are.
Hi, I'm Terrell Hunt. I'm the medical esthetician that will be speaking with you today.
Hey, Terrell.
How you doing?
So serious? Lighten up. It's morning time. We got you. Let's go.
And I'm Stacey J. Johnson. I am a guest of Terrell's and a client. So I'm here representing her, but outside of that, I'm a dating, love, and relationship expert. I travel the country empowering the lives of single women, giving them the tools to attract and keep healthy romantic love. But here, I'm here representing this good skin Terrell got me popping up in here on.
Hi, I'm Leticia Gardner. I am also representing Terrell in the skincare game. I'm an owner of an online fitness company called Total Body 21. So outside of keeping that body right, she helps keep my skin right. So I'm just repping that today.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. We definitely want to get a perspective from Terrell first. As the esthetician and the expert, what inspired you to get into this work and, practice being an esthetician?
I would say number one, the challenges I had with my own skin growing up, not having the resources, being a young girl with severe acne, I would say, where my confidence was an issue because, back in the day, they just say drink water. When you breaking out, you don't really have, the education. So I didn't know anything about diet and what sugar and dairy and caffeine does to the skin. And so, we eating now laters and Skittles and using all this other stuff and Noxzema, and none of that stuff is working. So years later, we have acne, we have scars and all this congestion in the skin. So it inspired me to want to know more and become very passionate about it.
Absolutely. And so tell us a little bit about the things you specialize in and some of the things you offer, some of the treatments that you offer.
So I specialize in acne, from teenage acne to adult onset acne. believe it or not, if you don't handle acne in your childhood, it literally follows you into your adulthood. And so a lot of my clients have battled their entire lives with acne because they've inherited some of these food patterns from, how we eat as a culture. And so if they'll say things like, well, I get it from my mom. No, you get your habits from your mom. You get your habits from your family. So because of those same habits, you have the same skin. And so I would say I would specialize mostly, like 86% of my clients are highly acneic. So out of a busy day of 8 to 10 clients, I would say 8 has acne.
Yeah, definitely is one of my concerns I'm dealing with. So I understand that whole.
Especially today with the mask, and we have a thing with the mask knee, and so breathing that in, people who are still trying to wear makeup and mask at the same time, the bacteria that's developing because of that. And so even if you never had acne, because of masks, you now are experiencing some major skin issues. So I would say definitely acne.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to bring in some of your clients to just talk a little bit about some of their, dealings with you and how they've seen a change in their skincare or some of the issues that you guys came to her with and how she's helped you on this journey, because skincare is definitely a journey.
Well, I can tell you myself, I have been a client of Terrell's for quite a long time. I am 50 in January. So, and with me being on camera so much doing in the line of work that I do, from TV interviews and things like that, I can tell you, for me, the biggest thing with Terrell is when I'm not working, I don't like to wear makeup. So for me, I have to keep a good looking face under all of this makeup that they always have me in, because I hate wearing makeup when I'm not working. Makeup to me is that girl who's doing some work. If I don't have on, if I'm not working, I like to wear basically a clean face. And, because I am getting older, I'll be 50 in January. I like to keep the skin as plump as it can be. And Terrell makes sure she keeps me moisturized. And I do have some, what do you call that stuff, Terrell? What is it? Skin discoloration that you work with?
The dark scars.
Yeah, so she helps me. That's one of I can tell you, my skin insecurities. So we make sure we take care of that. I don't know what she be doing, child. I just be laying there with my clothes off with this little thing over me, and she just does her thing. So you would have to ask her what it is. I just know I like it.
Yes.
And for me, I'm in fitness, so I don't usually wear makeup. I'm sweating, my hair is up all the time, and my husband's also in fitness. So he decided to give me some testosterone, right? There's some great benefits, and women do take it, but the dosage you have to be very careful with. But unfortunately, I think I took a little bit too much, and it made my face, everything here, and my back break out. So it was crazy, and in the middle of the pandemic. So Terrell really, really, oh my gosh, she was my essential worker through the whole process and got my skin back on, because for my day-to-day activity, not wearing makeup, always having a fresh face so that I can sweat when necessary, and then always in a sports bra, so my back is out. It just made me feel like I was 12 again, going through acne. I've never experienced it on that level. So for me, it was more of a hormonal thing, but now it's just maintaining it. She's been going overdrive, like getting rid of the scarring that it left and just killing all of the bacteria and getting my hormone balance back in order, because I feel like that plays a big part, especially the older we get. I have kids and our bodies change a lot. So finding out that balance is one thing she really helped me with, and getting my skin back into just a glowing state has been amazing. So
I think we have some photos that we're going to pull up now. My producers have them ready. We can show some of the before and after.
Yeah.
So
it went crazy.
Very now. That's awesome.
And on my back too. But now everything is so clear. That picture was literally yesterday. My skin has been Oh wow, she's
Beautiful.
amazing.
And I definitely want to touch on that with you, Terrell, because they mentioned some of their concerns, and I have some of the same concerns. Hyperpigmentation and acne are two things. And you mentioned the food and the things that you put inside of your body and how that impacts your skin. But there are also those hormonal things that happen with life change. So how do you advise clients in that manner? Say you're eating healthy and you're doing those right things, you're exercising, drinking your water, but you're going through, hormonal changes. How do you advise clients in that manner?
So I can look at your face. Honestly, this area here is your hormonal area. So I can definitely tell by a breakout where your challenges are. And I can tell when you're in imbalance. And so I just unpack, acne is a lot of times it's an internal battle most of the time. And so by the time I go through your habits, your supplements, your diet, can really quickly figure out and it can also be allergies. Sometimes we have allergies. We're doing all the healthy stuff like our protein shakes, juicing. It can be too much, citrus. It can be the dairy and the protein. By the time we unpack everything, 9 times out of 10, we're going to figure out this acne journey.
And she unpacked all my stuff, everything. Let me see the ingredients and everything. I'm like, give it all.
Get rid of the caffeine, get rid of the dairy, get rid of the sugar. And of course, those wasn't her exact habits, but even from the caffeine. And Leticia drinks black coffee. And I said, okay.
Keep my calorie right.
Black coffee, and she was doing a lot of the right things. But when those hormones go crazy and that cystic acne show up, it is the most damaging to the skin because it scars the skin the worst. And us brown skin girls, once we hyperpigment, those scars are there and they are there to stay. And so Leticia probably had her first relaxing facial probably almost a month ago.
Right.
We have been doing business in the spa.
Right.
No comfort, no steam. We in here, we're working in there. So, but it's really from what her face looked like before and now, it really didn't take us a long period of time. If we hadn't went into quarantine, honestly, her face would have been done a lot faster. She was consistent. If I told her to come every week, she was there with bells on. She was
every day.
Look, y'all are convincing me. I'm like, I need to book an appointment because having a professional to go through and break down everything is definitely helpful to do on the internet, trying to figure out, I need this and I need that. I definitely want to talk to you right before you guys get out of here about skincare for Black women and people of color and anti-aging and using sunscreen and how important that is, because obviously we say Black don't crack, but we definitely want to talk about preventative measures that need to be put in place. And a lot of people think because you are melanin rich that you don't have to protect your skin. So I definitely want you to speak on that before you guys get out of here.
Well, the first thing I would say is Dove and Vaseline that's not skincare. Throw it away. It does not work. It does not treat the skin. The second thing I would say is Black melanated skin we do get skin cancers. May not be, as high as a percentage as, the non-Black, but we do. And sunscreen is very important. We hyperpigment. We think we're getting freckles, but we're not. We're really getting age spots in our skin from the sun. And the sun, even though it's good for you, it can also be the worst thing for your skin. So Black may not crack, but it definitely does sag. And so we drop down here, we get the—
Ooh, that ain't right. Ooh, that ain't right the way you said that. That's not right. My birthday is in January. Did you say Black don't crack, but it does what?
It will sag on you.
Ooh,
so
the devil is a lie.
Lines, we get the wrinkles, we get all the, we express a lot with our face. Ooh. And so hydration, topically and internally. And like, I drank a bottle of water, ma'am, the skin is the largest organ, and the skin gets it last. So we have to increase our water. And we need a full regimen. We need our cleanser, we need our toner, we need our mask at night, and we need to treat underneath the eyes on a preventative side, because the eyes are the thinnest skin on the face. And once they crack and crapple, that is it. Then you want to be getting the surgeries and trying to pull everything back. So if you get on the serums, and you can ask Leticia, she has, if you look at her skincare from A to Z, she have a whole
Everything.
It's full. And
the whole bag goes everywhere with me.
Education, I teach you what you need to do in the AM, what you need to do in the PM, what you need to do for the beach, what you need to do in the winter. And believe it or not, for the UVA, UVB, you need sunscreen all year round. The clouds are damaging as well.
I can say one of the benefits for me is Terrell, as you all can see, is a encyclopedia of skin. So when you're there and you're on the table with her, you know, outside of girl talk, because that is highly like appreciated, because, you know, we do our girl talk, but she does educate you on your skin and what you're doing with your body from the inside out. And even she gives, you know, like I just took a trip and she gives you these little containers of things to make sure if you don't have a, you know, because so it's what is it, travel friendly, and I just love it. I just love it.
The samples, because you'll have your clients who are stuck on their own skincare. So what you have to do is you have to bribe them by samples of trying the things that you know. Because, for example, Stacey J is hooked on her own cleanser that I know don't work, but I have to give her some of mine to try for a little while. And then she'll see the shift in her skin.
Yes.
And she'll say, let me get a bigger bottle of that, you know? So it's not bribing the client into doing the right thing that I know works.
Yeah.
And I will say that it's not even just as, you know, different ages. She's also working on my daughter's skin, who's 15, and has been amazing. Like the results are insane. So I think, like you said earlier, making sure we're teaching our young girls that earlier on to get a hold of it, to train them up so that it doesn't carry on into adulthood. Because confidence is key. And when you look good, you feel good. So
yeah.
I just thank you personally for what you do for me and my daughter's skin.
So welcome. So welcome. I think overall, my goal for women of color and women all together is I woke up like this. You know, men do not want that makeup all over their pillows, and you run into the bathroom in the morning trying to cover up and correct things. Like the most confidence a woman can have is when I can just throw a ponytail in my hair and run to the grocery store and my skin. And the biggest compliment where I know I have truly achieved something is when people look at me and say, do you have on makeup? I just want to spin around every time they ask me that, because it's like, I don't have anything on but some good moisturizer and SPF today.
And that's all I have on right now. I purposely didn't wear makeup so you guys could really see it even right now, like literally what my skin has gone through and the glow that it has naturally. I put on some lip gloss and that was it. Don't want no dry lips, you know, but you know, that's it.
Wow.
It works.
Yeah.
Looks great.
That's the goal, to be able to wake up fresh face and have confidence. As women, when we all scarred up and broke out, and putting on makeup just make it worse when you have acne. It brings everything closer. So my audience and my clients, I want them to be confident in their bare face and still feel just as beautiful.
I'm so grateful to you ladies for coming on and sharing your skincare journey. Obviously, Terrell, for sharing your insight. Please just tell everybody where they can follow you and, you know, learn about your services and come see you and book an appointment, because
yes, come see me. I would love to help you with your skincare, rebuild your confidence, help correct and put you on a regimen to optimal skin health. My IG is Terrell Hunt Aesthetics. Of course, I'm on Facebook under Terrell Hunt, so you can follow me there. If you want to book an appointment with me, you can find me at benewbeauty.com. Be new, all one word, beauty. And so IG, Terrell Hunt Aesthetics.
Love it. Well, thank you ladies so much for stopping by today and joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
I'm trying to glow too, Cassidy. Me and Amir want to glow. We can't glow. We can't get our glow up.
Do men all the time. Come on in.
Oh, okay. Okay, because don't get it twisted. Me and Amir want to get our glow on too now.
Your face is in the public. You need to get your glow on.
Thank you.
I have it.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too.
She just forgot about us. This supposed to be our partner. We sitting here. Yes.
Yeah, I just, I had to get the tea for myself. Y'all was
Nah.
listening in.
Real talk before we jump to the social report. I gotta admit, I was listening, and that was amazing. The young lady, the fitness instructor, like her face trip, man, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's always helpful to have not only someone who is Black and understands Black skin to help you with your skincare concerns, because nobody understands it better than someone who can, go through the same things as you.
Okay, let me and Amir know when we going together.
Book an appointment, so I can't
Okay.
wait.
Put me now.
Exfoliate.
Yeah.
Put me in that appointment. All right, we're going with the social report, man. Wherever y'all want to go, just don't go to a black screen. I don't care where y'all go, just do not go to a black screen. All right. So, hey man, Run. Tory Lane's alcohol and a text apology to Megan. He said, I know you're probably never going to talk to me again. Of course I'm not. But genuinely want to know, I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I was just drunk. Now, Tory Lane, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put yourself in a position to when this case happens, Amir, tell me if I'm wrong. When the case happens, that they can say, oh, he's gonna do this many months of rehabilitation and all that other stuff. That's what you're trying to do.
So actually, Roman, I gotta disagree with you. If this text is actually authentic and he actually sent this text, it works against him because this is actually that he's actually admitting to a crime. So this is actually not good for him that because it's on record that's saying that, yo, I did this. Regardless of if you're drunk or not, it doesn't give you an excuse to shoot somebody. So this is really, if this text is authentic, like he's basically admitted to shooting her, which is the crime. So, I don't know how this is gonna work out as far as what's gonna happen next, but he should definitely be charged ASAP because that's evidence right there. Like he pretty much said it.
This is like a message you send to somebody if you like. It's something really minor. Like, I can't even think of something, but you like spilled something on their clothes or threw up in their house. Like, what? Like, why are you texting me? I was just too drunk, so I shot you. Like, if you don't get on somewhere.
You're right. That's a horrible excuse to shoot somebody.
Saying, I sorry, my bad. I was just too drunk. That's like, I threw up on your couch because I was too drunk and I'm sorry. Like, no. You don't text somebody saying, I'm sorry for shooting you. He couldn't pick up the phone and call her. Like, go actually visit her face to. I mean, he probably wouldn't get through, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, she probably is not receiving his calls or anything of that nature. But that excuse is horrible.
Like,
sorry about the bullet. What? Sorry about this bullet. Next up on the docket, where we rock it, as long as it's not a black screen, we're gonna go to. Hey man, now I know they said in 2019 it was coming back. Nope. I know they said in 2020 it was coming back. Nope. But FX Network's chairman John Landgraf announced season 3 and 4 of Atlanta has been postponed due to coronavirus concerns. Now, everybody on the planet is filming, sir. You are FX. If you cannot figure it out, why are you in the higher position? I don't know what's going on, but I missed the show. I caught on to it late. That was my fault. But I actually love the show. I don't think it's coming back.
Well, Tyler Perry is in an elite level. He's obviously, like Amir says, accomplished this idea of the bubble, and he's done it well without any problems. So they can get on Tyler Perry's level and figure out a system, then there will be no shooting. there will be no shows.
They should just do it at Tyler Perry Studio. It's in Atlanta.
Right.
It's gonna be.
It's in Atlanta, like.
For real.
That's gonna be the thing. Call Tyler. He know. He like call. Matter of fact, call Tyler Perry in the NBA. Clearly, they know.
You consult him on this. Like he's got the blueprint.
And last but not least, the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. I think the whole entire family is lost. So check this out. And I want to make sure I read this correctly. Your boy Donald Trump Jr. on Kyle Rittenhouse says, we all do stupid things at 17. Trump Jr. said he put himself in Rittenhouse position. Nope, not doing that. Maybe I shouldn't have been there. Correct. He's a young kid. I don't want 17-year-olds running around the streets with AR-15s. Maybe I wouldn't have to put myself in that situation. Who knows? But we all do stupid things at 17. Sir, let me tell you something that's probably gonna help you out in your life. There has been no never in hell of neverism that I have said to myself, let me grab this AR-15 and go to the streets, Cassidy, because I'm 17. Yeah. What the hell are you talking about, sir? That makes no sense. No black mom in the history of ever said, yeah, I'm gonna buy my son this AR-15, drive him to the streets so that he can police the streets. What the hell, sir?
Well, the thing is this, it makes all the sense because, I mean, this is what the Trump administration is about. They're about defending white supremacy. That's their whole agenda. They don't really care about anything else. There's no policies. He hasn't done anything in 4 years except progress the agenda of white supremacy. And so Kyle Rittenhouse represents white supremacy. He's a 17-year-old. He's the next generation of white supremacy. So they're going to protect him at all costs. And so I wasn't even surprised by this statement because they have been protecting this kid since the incidents happened, saying, okay, he feared for his life. No, people were trying to stop him from taking other individuals' lives because he was with an AR-15 shooting up the streets. So, I mean, my whole thing is this: you got to get out and vote because what's happening right now, we get another 4 years of this insanity. It's no telling what's about to happen to America, what's about to happen to Black people. So, Black people, make sure you get out and vote for Biden. Get out and vote for Biden. We don't want anything else. Like, you can't sit home. You got to get out and vote for Biden. So that's the only way we can stop this madness because right now it's just madness.
Right, man. Because I was reading it, Cassidy, and I was like, well, y'all need to stop judging and put yourselves in his shoes. Yeah, I don't never think I can't even fathom that putting myself in his shoes. What are you talking about? But Amir's right, man. Let's go vote for Biden. If you don't vote for Biden, vote for Kamala Harris. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, vote for both of them. Figure it out. Philip, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Sorry, I was having trouble with this. Here we go. With this. Cool. It's working.
Cool, man. So we're gonna let you guys introduce yourselves. Make sure do we have everybody in? Is everybody here?
We waiting. One of the links from one of the bros is he's trying to get on. One of the links ain't working for him.
Eric.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can start. Once he pop in, we just pick it up where he left off. Where we just he'll just join us. Again, I'm AR Shaw, cast of the city, the cast of Bruh. I want you guys to introduce yourselves.
What's up? Go young Phil.
My name is Philip Mullins Jr. I play Mike.
Yeah. What's up? My name is Monty Washington. I play Bill.
Morning, guys. My name is Madi Kachi, and I play Tom.
Definitely, man. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about this show, man. How did you all get picked for this role of this new show, man? Because it's, to me, I don't even know if there's a show like this where it's just like the perspective of Black men get to tell their stories. How did it all come about?
It's honestly, it's from the mastermind mind of Tyler Perry. I'm glad he gave us this opportunity first and foremost. The casting couldn't be more perfect. All four bros, when we went back to every audition, every callback, hundreds of other cats, all four of us just kind of congregated around each other naturally. It was such a natural thing. We just like, yo, okay, I'm picking up on his vibe, his vibe, his vibe. And the way we just all came together was perfect. And it really isn't. There's no shows. I really looked it up. Like when it came out, I was like, where's shows with four black men? You got a couple of movies, you know what I'm saying? You got the Brothers, you got The Wood, more or less, you know what I'm saying? Even The Best Man, to a large extent, has that same kind of elements. So you see it within movies, but within shows, you see it with women, you see it with couples, you see it a lot. And especially with Tyler Perry, he has such strong elderly and female and family voices in his writing. To do this from four black men, millennial black men, you know what I'm saying? It's rare, man. It's rare, and the timing couldn't be more perfect with everything. Just what you guys were just talking about a little while ago. Just have some positive black role model representations on the whole spectrum of black. Not overly toxic, not too nice, but you get a little bit of everything. It's pretty special to be part of.
Yeah. I'd second everything Monty says. What was exciting about this show is that I think that, like, as men, as black men, we can all relate to an extent. Like Monty said, when we went to the callback, all of us didn't know. I guess Monty and Barry had met on a project before, but the rest of us didn't know each other. But we bonded like instantly, kind of, right? And then we have this like strong brotherhood. And what's interesting is I have in my own personal life, like, my own kind of bros, like we on a group chat, we known each other since high school, and it's four of us. And like everybody can kind of relate to certain aspects of different ones of the characters on the show. And I've had a lot of people kind of give us that feedback, and that's super rewarding because we can all relate to, it's like friendships. We're growing up, but like having friendships, having people, look out for you, keep you accountable, watch your back, like that's important. And it's nice to be able to tell that story on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like working with Tyler Perry on this? How did he lead and guide you all in this role? And kind of what have you taken from working with him?
You want that, Phil? You want that first?
Well, Mr. Perry really just rolled out the red carpet for us as far as like providing us with everything that we needed to get the job done, and then providing us with the trust to do our jobs. There was a lot going on as far as the set and the chaos that could be on set, but as far as being there for each other and doing the job, he really relied on the chemistry that the four of us had together and allowing us to tell our story. So that was, in my opinion, everything that we needed to be successful. It's just the trust that we were these characters, that we would come and show up and perform. And that was everything that we needed. And that type of trust isn't given in every situation. So I felt grateful to have, these three guys by my side, and then the trust from Mr. Perry on the back end.
Yeah, that trust, he kind of hit it right. Tyler, he works. Once you meet him and you work with him, he's all or nothing. It's 100% or nothing. And so when you come on set, you have to kind of raise your game, whether your job is to be one of the bros and be an actor, or whether your job is to be a grip or a camera operator. You need to be able to work at his speed, at his level. I remember when I used to hoop back in the day, and my foster parents used to be like, they used to get mad at me because I used to get mad if my teammates didn't go as hard as me in practice. Because when you love what you do and you have like this kind of expectation and standard of excellence for yourself, you thrust that on other people. And I think that's what Tyler did to us. He's just like, I chose y'all for a reason. Y'all capable. And just like my man Phil says, he trusted us to do what we do, but you need to do what you can do at the highest possible level, because that's what he expects of himself. That's what he expects of the cast and crew. So if you're not ready to step into that expectation, you'll get eaten alive. But luckily for us, we stepped up, especially that first day of filming. It was like, oh, yo, this is Tyler Perry. This, and he a big dude. I'm 6'3", the dude dwarfs me. He's a big dude, he's a burly fella, you know what I mean? So, and then he just has this, I'm here to work. I'm here to get this business done. We got stuff to do. You do your job, I'm gonna do my job. And when you have that, it makes you raise your game. I'm telling you now, and maybe the bros could co-sign, but like stepping on any other set now, it seems like a piece of cake. Like now, after the work we did, with the level of expectation that was thrust on us, also with the trust that was given to us, and to be able to step up and deliver, every other set now is like, oh, we doing that? I'll be over here. You just say action, let me do my thing. So he sets you up to make every other set, every other job seem like light work.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Monty.
I was just gonna say, I was an officer in the Navy prior to being an actor, and I see many characteristics in Tyler Perry that I would see in like good military leaders. Echoing the sentiments of my bros, but what he did was like he takes care of his people, so he gave us what we need to succeed, and then he empowers us without micromanaging. He's not all on us every moment, like, hey, did you do this? Did you say that? He's like, hey, I've done the casting. I trust you guys. And that kind of, being empowered and getting that greater responsibility then makes us feel like almost like a greater obligation to honor this man's choice and do a good job in telling the story. So it all works very well.
So I wanna bring Barry in. Barry just joined us.
Hey,
I had some technical difficulties with a
Hey,
few things.
bro, me
I can go
too.
into it.
Me
but-
too. I just got in here too.
hey, and my brothers got me in. I was in a what kind of chat was that? I was in a Gmail chat or something. I was in there by myself. So
You like
I don't know how I got in there, but it's a whole nother conversation.
Well, man, we glad we found you, man, because they said you were lost, so we glad you was able to find what we needed.
Man, I was lost. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I thank God for that.
So, Barry, I want to ask you this, man. Tyler Perry you guys did 19 shows in 4 days. Talk about that whole experience, man. What was that whole thing? Did you guys sleep? Like, how did it work?
I don't think it was we did get some sleep. Crazy enough. I don't think that was the plan to shoot 19 episodes in 4 days. But we did have a little moment when we was quarantined. They was filming Ruthless, and our cast got a chance to really run our lines and work together. And so as we got on set, I think that we were going at such a great rate early on because we were so ready early on that Mr. P was like, okay, let's go. Well, let's keep going. Let's see. Like, because we were finishing stuff, maybe the day that was supposed to be shot, we were done with it in the middle of the day because of us working on our stuff. So I say that to say our mentality wasn't, oh, we're about to do 19 episodes in 4 days. Because I think it would be a different, if you say that, then it probably, oh, wait, I think it just ended up happening that way. And it was like, hey, let's do more. And we was like, do what? Do more? Okay, cool. And we were able to get it. So we did sleep. It sounds crazy, but the way he shoots and the way he allows us to work freely, it's not a lot of micromanaging, as Monty said. So you're able to be fluid in the scenes, to be honest with you. And so that really helps. It's not like every word is, he gives you the blueprint and you go and create the magic, action, go create it. You know what I mean? And I think that that's great. And I think when you see the second season, I think you'll see some very organic moments that is going to be special because of that.
Yeah, man.
So once you got so what was it like for the rest of you guys? Like, how was it, that pace, keeping up with that pace, shooting so much in like a condensed amount of time? What was it like?
Nah, I think Barry said it best. Like, I couldn't have written it better myself. As far as it sounds, I don't want to say it sounds crazier than it is, because it is a lot. But it, like, once you get into that rhythm, and once you get into, like, once you're there and you're moving and you're going, it's like, oh, we're all in sync. We're all trying to do this thing, and we're all doing it at the same pace. And I feel like that's something that's overlooked. And like, I got home and I saw like headlines like 4 days, everybody's, we done it in 4 days. And yeah, that's cool. It was crazy, but like, I think it was just a testament of like all of us being together and all of us working as one. Cause there's a lot of moving parts in any TV show, any movie, any production. And for all of us to be as one, moving from day to day at that pace, it was like we got into a rhythm. We definitely were with each other for that.
Right. Yeah, I think a big part of it, a huge part of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, bros, is the fact that we had a couple of weeks in this bubble where you feel like you're cut off from the outside world. I mean, literally, you're on this beautiful campus. We got food trucks. We good. We're fed right. We got a little store. We can go, like, he took care of us, like, to the craziness. And for us, since we were the last show to film, we had 2 weeks where I'm telling y'all, we were digging in 10 to 12 hours, eating up this script, going over it, working with each other again and again, testing each other. All right, let's see if I notice. So by the time we got to set, like Barry said it right, like Tyler was mad surprised, like, okay, because when he shoots, is like when he sees whether it takes one take or a million takes, when he sees what he wants to see and he has it, he's moving on. He doesn't second guess himself. It's not well, let's try this. He's like, oh, I like what y'all just did. Boom, boom, boom. And then it's a testament also, our entire cast, the bros and all of us. I think there was like 11 in total of us, like as far as the actual like main cast and actors. Our chemistry is stupid silly. You don't get this in the industry. There was no ego. I want to see my bros win as much as I want to win. And when you come in with that mentality, like, yo, let's get this. Let's put in work. I got you. And there's a couple of scenes where, I'm like, I don't know this fully. I know this fully. Follow my lead. Good looking out. Let's do this. Let's keep going. So when you got that kind of respect for the work, respect for each other, that kind of chemistry, and you're dedicated, I'm telling y'all, 10 and 12 hours of going over and over and over. By the time you get to set, when everything is set up perfectly for you just to focus on that one thing, it makes it possible to do the impossible, which is exactly what the hell we just did.
I think. Now go ahead, Mike.
I just want to say, like, the fact that all of us were there for each other, like, because I know Barry in particular. I leaned on Barry for some of these days, because you think about it, like, we're shooting out locations at a time. But your teammates, like my bros, like the 3 guys next to me, are shooting before me. So I'm watching them knock it out. And then it gets closer. The next guy knocks it out. And then it's closer to me. It's like, oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's coming. And then the next guy knocks it out. And so you have like the people next to you killing it, going. And then if you need somebody to lean on, they're right next to you to lean on. Like, and we used our friendship and our chemistry and our bond to get each other through that, because you can't do it alone. So
Thank you for that shout out. And I definitely leaned on Monty several times. He's like, it's nothing. Let's go. And it becomes if I can say this as it relates to scripts, it becomes, your character one. So we've been fortunate to really buy into our characters first season. So you really kind of know where you're coming from, and you've read the script. Obviously, when you're moving at that pace, you may not know, but you do know the scene. And so it's really, like I said, fluid. It just, you'd be surprised. Like after the fact, I was kind of surprised at how much I did know and how much I did retain. I'm in the scene like I don't know, and I do know it. And it's like it's a reaction instead of acting, and it was great, you know, and it was fun. You know, Mr. Perry always often say, "Have fun." So, you know, we ain't doing open heart surgery with somebody's life at stake here. This is acting. Let's not lose sight. This is acting. You know what I mean? This is not hard. This is a blessing to be able to do here and be someone else for a living. So I don't ever want to lose sight of how, I don't want to say easy, but this is acting. This is not, nothing's at stake here. You know what I'm saying? Like if I forget a line, there's a script supervisor there. You know what I mean? Like, so
no, Barry makes a great point. Barry makes a great point. I mean, like what Barry said is absolutely right. Like we're all lucky to be doing this. So yeah, as he said, people sit in surgery, you know, surgeons and whatnot. I play a doctor on the show, by the way, but they're doing surgery for 20 hours or, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's life and death. And obviously we love doing this. And yeah, it gets challenging when you're, you know, doing a crazy pace and doing a lot. But at the same time, I think, like, for example, well, just for the facts of the matter, season 1 took longer. Like it took longer for us to shoot season 1. So we did it more slowly than we did season 2. But I think that, like, you're going to see when you watch season 2, like, it's an improvement just in everything. Like our chemistry is growing, our confidence is growing, like the story's even more intricate and the plot and everything. So yeah, just the speed, the pace in which we shoot is not the determinant factor of kind of the quality of what we got. I think that, like, you know, if you're able to go faster, as everybody said, and kind of Mr. Perry gave us that blessing, then we can go faster. And it's, I think it's gonna be fun. You guys are gonna enjoy watching it.
So I gotta ask you this without giving away too many spoilers or anything. You guys were able to shoot in a time almost like real time. You guys were shooting at a time where so much was happening in America. Do you guys touch on any topics about being Black men in America and what it means at this moment with the killing of George Floyd and we seen what happened with Ahmaud Arbery? Do you guys touch on those subjects? If so, tell us how.
Yes, I won't give it away, but we specifically spoke to those points. I know some lines I had specifically. I literally spoke to that specific incident in a scene with me and Tom, John and Thomas having a conversation because John has a perspective of police and of, you know, racism and things like this. And Tom's character, Marty's character, Tom, is trying to open his mind up to understand that everybody's not like this, and that sometimes that's the issue with both sides, that we paint everybody with this one color brush and everybody's this way. And my perspective, I think, as my character was valid. So without giving the details, but yes, we do touch that. We do touch on that. And I know this is about our mid-season break because I don't want people to get confused. Like the second half of the first season just starts today. And then we was in the quarantine doing the second season, which you will probably see if y'all haven't. I'm probably like preaching again, which I've already said, but it'll probably come out next year. But yes, go ahead. We did talk about that and touch on those subjects. And that's the thing I really appreciated about Mr. Perry, just being with the times, allowing these stories to speak to the reality of what we feel as African-American Black men and our plight and how we see the world, and how another Black man in Tom, who's biracial, right, in the show, speaks from a different angle that I personally think is important because we get we can become very, very very just stuck in a way of thinking that really doesn't help us progress in our culture without trying to give away too many things. Like Black people sometimes think all white people are racist, all police are bad, so forth and so on. And their experiences really fuels that perspective, right? Because in a lot of my experiences with the cops, that's been the dynamic. Like they've been very rude and treated me a certain way for no reason, so I can understand how somebody comes to that perspective. But in the show, on the second season, Tom's perspective is that, hey, everybody's not bad. You know what I mean? You know, everybody's not this. It's the person that's that way, and they so happen to be a police. They so happen to be white. They so happen to be whomever, which is the thing. And so that's an angle. And I was like, wow, that was so brilliant how Mr. Perry wrote that in there. So yeah, you will see a lot of this stuff. I digress.
How has this whole situation affected you guys, you know, as far as you know, individually, like, you know, seeing this, and then, you know, we saw like how the NBA players were impacted by being in a bubble and not being able to be out in the streets and helping with the community. Did you guys ever feel that type of, you know, need to, like, wow, you wish you could kind of still be with your people, but also you had to do work? Was there any type of feelings that you guys had while working in the bubble?
Man,
so much was happening?
Absolutely. There was moments of, it was just I remember I think something happened while we were in there. There's so much stuff going on, man. It's hard to keep up, and it's you know,
man that was shot in the back. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
Jacob
so
Blake,
Jacob Blake.
And it was just like a weird thing. It was almost like, I don't know if you want to survivor's guilt or whatever. It's like, we got folks really going through some heavy stuff out there. You know what I mean? Like some really heavy stuff. And here I am, blessed, living this dream with people I love, making great money, making history in this very unique, amazing experience. And I remember having to pray and sit back and be like, yo, as a group, we all had a little day. It was Miss Chandra's birthday, who plays Miss Alice on the show, and the whole cast, we just got together and we just kind of went and celebrating. We were just talking. And I remember we're just like, be present in this moment. Like, we're here for a reason. We're blessed enough to have this experience for a reason. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness going out in the world, but we are also here for a purpose. We're also creating something that may provide some kind of healing to people out there, even if it's just the 40 minutes you're watching the show as an escape from a grim reality. So you have these two juxtaposed positions of guilt and sometimes anger and all this stuff about what's going on and how unjust it is. But at the same time, it's like, yo, we're here for a reason. We're put in this position to tell these stories for a purpose, and maybe it will provide some healing for some people. So I know me personally, I had to compartmentalize my mind and be like, yo, let's do this job. You're doing something special right now that may help people in a unique way. And to be on that set with just Blackness all around you, positive, beautiful Blackness all around you. And then you look in the world and it's just a lot of hurt and pain. It grounded me. I've never been more grateful in my life, and proud of my Blackness to add to that, to be able to do that. But yeah, there's definitely moments. But now that we're out, now it's like, okay, which way can I help? What can I do? I know I'm about to volunteer at for some poll work, here in LA and stuff. Like, what little things can you do? Because if you try to think you can solve this whole problem, it easily becomes overwhelming. So at that time, it was just, let's focus on this work. Let's work with these beautiful Black folks. Let's create something special that might provide some healing. And then you take it each step going forward.
Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. But before we let you guys go, we're gonna end with positive thoughts of the day. So we kick it off, and you basically just give a positive thought, and just real quick, just your positive thought of the day. I'm gonna start with my sister Cass in the city. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna kick it off. Every day is a new day. Take a deep breath, smile, start over. I'm gonna pass it to Romeo.
Hey, first of all, love you guys, and I love my sister Cass. But I want y'all to see all these Black men on this screen right now, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You see all this Black excellence? They're brothers supporting brothers. We ain't all out there fighting. I just need the world to see that Black men do have a purpose, and we do support each other. And I'm gonna pass it to, I'm gonna see where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Barry. Let's go, Barry.
Man, dreams come true. It's very important to me. I think we sometimes stop dreaming as we get older and life happens and frustrations happen. But I want to just encourage everybody that your dreams come true. Don't stop believing in whatever. If you stop dreaming, start dreaming again. Start believing in something that seems impossible is very possible. I just want you to always believe, put the work in. I promise you dreams do come true. I'm gonna toss it to Monty.
Yo, perspective is a cheat code for life. And what I mean by that, your perspective changes everything. If you can have a positive perspective on things, and especially what we're going on in this world, and find a silver lining within it, it's a cheat code for life. It will get you out of situations you never knew you could get out of any other situation. So perspective is a cheat code to life. I'm gonna pass it to my boy, My D.
All right, thank you, brother. Well, I think that, what I'm most grateful for is just the fact that we can all, like everybody you see on the screen, like we all get the ability to tell these stories. And as I talked about earlier, these stories relate to lives and individuals. And really, you can say that's regardless of race, creed, religion, everything like that. So we can see that we are actually more similar than we are different. And I think there's beauty in that, to see that everyone can connect. So our interconnectedness is what drives us all. And, talk to more people, meet more people, when you start to realize everybody, we're all really the same, just, different circumstances.
Yeah,
I'll pass it to my man, Philip. There you go.
For me, it's really a blessing to have these guys next to me during this experience, because, we're all, all of us in life, we're all breathing, we're all experiencing everything that's going on in the world. We all have different experiences and point of views about it, but we can all lean on each other. So I would say, don't be afraid to lean on the person next to you, and don't be afraid to be somebody who can be leaned on, because we're all in it together. We're all just trying to, live and prosper. Star Trek.
Definitely. So I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna give a shout out to all my bros around the world. Black men, let's come together. Let's stop aiming hate at each other. We got to come together and love. This is a real hard time. We see what we're dealing with. The enemy, they want to eliminate us. So it's up to us to come together. We got to Voltron this thing, show love, show respect, and just uplift the next brother. It's important for us to all come together at this moment, show respect, show love at all times. I am A.R. Shaw with the cast of Bros. Before we let you guys go, I want you guys to let everyone know where they can find the show, what day and what time.
BT Plus every Thursday. BET Plus every Thursday. Make sure y'all tune in and catch Bruh. We just got 3 new episodes that is dropping today, and you get a new episode every week. So yeah, y'all do that. Stop playing games.
Yes, and it's 3 episodes up right now, and it's usually uploaded like 2 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're up late, that Wednesday night, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're on the East Coast, there's a new episode. But right now, there's 3 new episodes for the second half of the first season. Man, please check it out. Please comment, talk about it, share it, tell somebody if you laughed, if you enjoyed it. Please share it with the friends. Not often you see Black men presented in a positive light, dealing with life issues. And I just think that we need to push it and let the industry know, let Hollywood know, like, hey, we love this type of view of Black men, seeing a Black doctor, nobody murdering nobody. They just going through life, living life as regular people. And we want to promote that, and we want to share, like, before Black Panther, and rest his soul, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But to see the success of Black Panther, when they see the success of Black shows, people say, people within the power positions start to push those things. And we found out we were the first set of people to be in this position. So we hope that, there's more Black men shows that's driven by strong Black men. We see, and shout out to my Black women, y'all right there with us. We need you. Y'all, my Black women cast, I don't want no problems. Like the women that just so you see us. So yeah, that was it. I know that's not what you asked for.
That's all good, man.
I was late, so I'm getting mine in.
Yeah, you got to make up. We got to make up. You was able to make up, Barry. Again, man. Of course, make sure you guys tune in to Bros. To Bros. We also got RideCon that's coming September in a few weeks. So we're going to keep you guys updated on that. Check us out, rollingout.com. September 25th and 26th is the dates for Ride. Go to rollingout.com. Definitely follow us so you can get more information, more insight on when we're going to drop more information about this conference. Want you all to definitely join. I am A.R. Shaw for Romeo International and Cast in the City. For the cast of Bros, we out. Enjoy your day. All love.
Thank you guys.
All right.